fudge. Let's make fudge. It's very easy, and your friends will love it. And if you cut it in little shapes, you can serve it on a little candy tray with perhaps a hot cocktail or coffee or alcoholic coffee or any sort of alcohol. I'm saying it's a delicious little candy and anybody can make it. You can make it Rocky Road, which is little bits of marshmallow, little bits of this, that, and the other thing. You can make it any kind of fudge you want. We're just making chocolate fudge with no nuts in it, just fudge. Don't budge, here comes the fudge. So what is fudge? Fudge really is ganache. It's thick ganache, which I discovered when I made the Magic of Television one. Now, the two big problems with fudge are that it's grainy or it's too loose. If it's too loose, you can add confectioner's sugar or a little bit of cornstarch. Hopefully that won't happen. Mine was fine when I made it last night. Now, I halved the recipe from the Preppy Kitchen, which was the easiest fudge recipe we could find. And I'm gonna use a very small container because they want you to use a huge container because the amount of fudge they want you to make is substantial. I'm gonna use this. This is just like a beautiful little thing I found in a flea market. I'm gonna line it with this, which is gonna cause me a huge pain in the butt. You see that? That's just so irritating, isn't it? But when I put the fudge in, it won't do that. And I'm just gonna spray this very lightly with Everbake. Okay, then I'm gonna use this to distribute the grease. If you don't do this, you run the risk of the paper sticking. Don't use tin foil. Tin foil will stick and tear, and then you have to like scrape it off with the toothpick. You don't want to do that. Now, this is so facile. Don't use Hershey's, I'm sorry to say that. It doesn't melt properly, and it's sort of not chocolate. But this is Guittard, which is a very nice brand. I would also always recommend Amadei, but I don't know where my chocolate is because I ask my housekeepers to hide it in the house so that I don't eat it while I'm watching television. But anyways, here we go. Guittard, 1 cup each. A can of sweetened condensed milk. I like Eagle brand because it has a 1950s packaging. And basically, you put this into a pan and heat it up until the chocolate melts. Then you put in some vanilla extract and then you pour it into a pan and it turns into fudge. The most key thing, don't mess around with it for at least 1 hour of cooling. Then you can put it in the fridge or whatever, but don't try to cut it because it's like icing. It won't cut, but it will set. And if it doesn't set, you can dump it back in the pan and put a little confectioner's sugar, remelt it, and then do it again. It's pretty easy. Here we go. Fudge it up, fudgy pants. Okay, so we want this to be not too hot because the fats from the chocolate separate and it's what they call splits. And it's unmistakable. You'll see a greasy layer over the melted chocolate. And you can't use that. I believe we made a mousse once here that split badly. But actually with mousse, you can kind of fudge it, but not. I think that's why that expression came to be, because fudge is so easy. Anyways. I am using 2 cups, 1 cup each of, in this case, Guittard chocolate, okay? Oh boy, look at that. Now this is made from 2 ingredients, sugar and milk. And it is reduced milk, which is why it's slightly tan. Now you can make dulce de leche by putting this can opened in a pan of slightly simmering water for a little while, and it will look like nothing's happening on the top, and then you'll stir it, and underneath is dulce de leche, dark brown. Oh, it's so easy. What you're gonna do is you're basically doing this. I'm not kidding you. And it's gonna make a smooth, creamy, fudge-like mass. Now we still have unmelted pieces in there. So what I'm looking for is for it to be pretty uniformly shiny. It's got shiny areas in it now. Is it candy? Is fudge candy? It's the easiest candy you'll ever make. Wow, it looks beautiful, doesn't it? Makes you feel like Willy Wonka. Oh my God, Gene Wilder singing. I guess for theater people, that's a really sad song. Come with me.
And you'll be in a world of pure imagination.
Gene Wilder's just, wow. All right, anyways, I'm stirring this. It's getting shinier. Do you see that? Now, could you put candied pecans? Sure. Could you put toasted walnuts? Yes. Could you pour one layer and then put a layer, tiny peanut butter layer, and then another layer on top? Sure. Could you put cereal in it, make it crunchy? Yes. You know, you could put Lucky Charms in here. You could do whatever you want. I grew up on the vineyard, and every resort town, the boys were just talking about this, has like a fudge shop. And on the vineyard, it's called Murdoch's Fudge. And they have a huge picture window. And they when they take the fudge out, they do this whole thing on the marble, which was amazing to watch. All right, here we go. I like the way this looks. It's very thick and shiny like. I'm just gonna touch it to see how hot it is. It's pretty warm. Oh, I forgot salt. All right, I'm gonna put some salt in. This is probably too late, but it might be crunchy, which is kind of amazing, actually. Ooh, flaky salt, you can see it. All right, beautiful. I'm gonna put a little bit of this, and then I'm gonna take it to the stage. Don't use paste, because it's actually part of what loosens it a little bit. Put less than last night, because last night it really loosened it. The magic of TV nights here are so funny, because it's just me and the dogs trying to make these things that Lynn sends me. All right, I'm gonna put this in the pan. I'm ready to go. Look at this ingenious idea I had to hold this in place. All right, here we go. I'm pouring the fudge in. This is a time-sensitive issue here. This is better than the batch I made last night. Okay, now, really what I'm doing now is very quickly spreading it out. Because what happens is it sets, and you can't do the top anymore once it starts setting, and it's already setting. Don't forget the other side will be flat, so you flip it over if you have a messy top. Now you see how it's already holding the shape I'm making? So I have to be careful now. Like it's already making permanent lines. That's it, leave it alone. Fudge. You want it 1 hour minimum setting, okay? Then if you made it good, you can probably cut it. If it's a little loose, you can remelt it and put some confectioner sugar or cornstarch in it, half a teaspoon at a time. If you want, you can store it in the refrigerator and then cut it. But whatever you do, don't mess with it for 1 hour. Let it do its thing. I have the Magic of Television one, which frankly isn't as good as that one because I made it in too big of a pan. It's quite thin, but let's take a look at this. Now for the ease of my idea, I did put this in the refrigerator. I mean, it looks like fudge to me. We'll take our Perusi Forester, make the edges clean. So my idea was to cut little pieces and make like little petit fours or whatever with it. And then I thought, Adam said, because we put the salt in late here and when they were licking the bowl, it had crunchy salt, which is what I was hoping, remember? So then we thought, what if we served it with little tiny pieces of smoked salt? Wow. Okay, so let's cut some. Here we go. It's not that easy because it's quite cold. You could probably grease this a little bit because this is quite difficult. Hello, Fudgy. All right, I'm gonna do a round one just for the sake of argument. Fudge. Let's try something like this. You could make a cute fudge tray like this. Some with salt, some without. Now, try to make your fudge even so that your candies aren't all different sizes. But it's a great thing for Christmas coffee. Like after you finish your dinner, you could serve this. I mean, they'd be so impressed. Look how thick this one is. I mean, guys, I'm pretty proud of that. It's really not bad. A little round one, and we're done. So we were thinking about other ways to make this amazing, and I was thinking, what could you mix in? Because the salt did remain crystal in the one that we made. And then I was thinking, what if we put like chipotle chili powder or something that made it vaguely spicy? Come on, I would love that. With a little bit of this on it, delicious. Fudge. Fudge it. Fudge is very fudgy. Fudge!